The crystalline halls of the Zypherian palace gleamed under the light of 3 moons, casting ethereal shadows across the throne room where Queen Lixara sat in contemplation. Her daughter, Princess Elsa, had been acting strangely ever since the diplomatic mission to Earth had concluded 3 cycles ago. "Mother, I need to speak with you," Elsa announced, her luminescent skin flickering with an emotion the Queen couldn't quite identify. Nervousness, perhaps, or excitement. Queen Lixara regarded her daughter with ancient eyes that had witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations. "What troubles you, my child?" Elsa took a deep breath, her crystalline hair shimmering as she moved. "I've made a decision. I want to invoke the right of chosen bond." The Queen's composure faltered for the first time in centuries. The right of chosen bond was an ancient tradition, one that allowed a member of the royal family to select their life partner regardless of station or origin. "With whom?" she asked carefully. "With the human, Jackson, the engineer from Earth." Silence filled the throne room like a physical presence. Queen Lixara rose from her seat, her regal bearing unable to mask her shock. "A human? Elsa, do you understand what you're asking? They live barely 100 years. Their technology is primitive. Their spirit is unbreakable," Elsa interrupted, her voice firm. "Their capacity for hope is infinite. And Jackson, mother, he sees me, not the princess, not the alien, but me." The Queen remembered the diplomatic mission. Earth had been on the verge of environmental collapse when the Zypherians had arrived, offering advanced technology in exchange for cultural exchange. She had expected the humans to be desperate, perhaps even instead, they had been defiant, proud, and remarkably resilient. "Tell me about him," the Queen said finally, settling back into her throne. Elsa's entire being seemed to glow brighter. "He was part of the engineering team assigned to learn our terraforming technology, while others were intimidated or overly ambitious. Jackson was genuine. He asked questions not to gain advantage, but to truly understand. He told me stories of Earth, of mountains he'd climbed, of oceans he'd sailed, of a sky with only one sun but somehow more beautiful than ours." The Queen listened as her daughter continued, describing how Jackson had treated her as an equal, how he'd made her laugh with his strange human humor, how he'd shown her images of Earth's art and music, how he'd spoken of his planet with such fierce love despite all its flaws. "When our ship was damaged by the solar flare," Elsa said, her voice dropping, "everyone panicked. Our technology failed, but Jackson, with nothing but primitive human tools and that incredible human stubbornness, jury-rigged a solution. He saved 47 lives that day, mother, including mine." Queen Lixara closed her eyes. She had read the reports, of course, but they hadn't mentioned the human's role so prominently. "That still doesn't explain why you would bind yourself to a being whose lifespan is but a fraction of yours. Would you rather I spend 1,000 years alone, or 80 years truly alive?" Elsa challenged. "Our people live long, mother, but how many of us truly live? How many of us feel the way Jackson makes me feel, like the universe is bigger and brighter and full of possibility?" Before the Queen could respond, her advisor approached with urgent news. "Your Majesty, the human Jackson requests an audience. He claims it's a matter of personal importance." The Queen's eyes widened. "Send him in." Jackson entered the throne room with the kind of confidence that came not from arrogance but from knowing one's own worth. He was tall for a human, with dark hair and eyes that held both intelligence and kindness. He bowed respectfully but not subserviently. "Your Majesty," he began, "I know I'm probably the last person, or rather, the last being you expected to see here." "You presume correctly," the Queen replied, studying him intently. Now she understood. There was something in the way he carried himself, something in his eyes that spoke of depth and courage. This was no ordinary human. "I'm here to ask permission to court your daughter," Jackson said simply. "I know all the reasons why this is complicated. I know I'm going to age and die while she's still young. I know our worlds are different, but I also know that what Elsa and I have is real, and rare, and worth fighting for." "You would leave your entire world behind?" the Queen asked. "Earth will always be my home," Jackson replied. "But home isn't just a place. It's where you're understood, where you're valued, where you belong." "I belong with Elsa." The Queen looked between the human and her daughter, seeing the way they gravitated toward each other even while maintaining proper distance, the way their eyes met with unspoken understanding. She thought of her own mate, lost centuries ago to a war that now seemed pointless. They had been bonded for 300 years, and she would have traded all of it for just one more day with him. "The Zypherian royal family has endured for 10,000 years, the Queen said slowly, "because we have always chosen wisdom over tradition when they conflict. Jackson of Earth, you have shown courage, ingenuity, and honor. More importantly, you have won my daughter's heart, something I once thought impossible. She rose from her throne and descended the steps, stopping before the human. Up close, she could see the determination in his eyes, but also vulnerability. He was afraid, she realized, but he had come anyway. I grant you permission to court Princess Elsa, the queen declared. But know this, human, you have taken on not just a princess, but our most precious treasure. Treat her with anything less than the respect and love she deserves, and you will discover that this universe holds terrors beyond your imagination. Jackson smiled, unafraid. Your Majesty, I promise you this, I will love her with everything I have, for every day I have. And when my time comes, she will know that she was loved by a human with all the fierce, brilliant, impossible love that humanity is capable of. Elsa rushed forward, taking Jackson's hand. The queen watched them, these two beings from worlds apart, and felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Hope, perhaps. She thought, this was the future not just for her daughter, but for all their peoples. If a human and a Zypherian could find love across the stars, what else might be possible? Come, the queen said, her voice softer now. We have much to discuss, and Jackson, you have much to learn about becoming part of a royal family. Starting with our telepathic etiquette, something tells me you're going to need it. As the three of them walked together through the crystalline halls, the palace seemed to glow a little brighter, as if responding to the happiness within its walls. And somewhere, across the vast distance of space, Earth's single sun continued to shine, a reminder that even the smallest lights can guide us home.